And good morning, everybody. Silas back again. I haven't been recording for the last few days. It's just been so hot. Brutally hot out this week. But tomorrow I'm going to be in here in this barn filming some stuff, and I was just going to start the video then, but I have a guy supposed to bring me one, maybe even two old trucks today, and then someone else is coming to pick up an old truck and some other stuff. And so I thought, you know what, I'll just go ahead and bust out the camera, and I'll record just a few things today, and then we'll continue this video tomorrow. I've got a bunch of stuff I want to do in here, maybe some stuff out back. It just kind of depends on the weather. They're saying a cooler front is coming through. It's going to cool the temperatures down into the 90s. Hopefully that hits tomorrow, but it may not come until Sunday. So if it's still 105, 110 degrees tomorrow, I probably won't do as much outside. I'll try to work in here. But we'll worry about that then. Let's get to it. There it is. What year is this? 57, I think. I could be wrong on that. If you know what year this is, let me know. It's 55 to 57. I don't know the exact year on it. But anyway, it's in pretty good condition. That's the main reason I bought this one. The color on it is not very good. For wall art purposes, this truck would not sell very well. But the cab is really solid on it. Minimal rust, just a little bit in the cab corners. The doors have a little bit of bubble rust. But in here, it's all pretty solid. The floors are solid in it. The steps just have a tiny bit of rust up there. The hinge pockets are all good. Doors aren't sagging, nothing like that. The dash is all good, not rotted out anywhere. Just a little bit of bubble rust up there above the windshield, and that's really uncommon. Usually these things are just rotted and nothing up on top up there. So I saw that and I said, this is actually a pretty good cab. The cab's not all crushed in the back. A lot of times farmers will have these trucks and they'll have something hanging over the cab. They'll let the bed down and it'll smash it, or they'll be dumping stuff in the bed and stuff will bounce out and crush the cab in. And the back of the cab's not all stabbed full of holes. The door's still shut pretty good. Like I said, they don't sag at all. The fenders have a little bit of damage. I don't know for sure if I'd sell this whole front clip or if I'd just go ahead and cut it off for a cheaper wall hanger. I have a guy interested in the cab and maybe the front clip, but for sure at least the cab. He's supposed to be here tomorrow to look at it. That's kind of why I bought this truck, was hoping that I can talk him into buying it. I just noticed that this steering wheel's in pretty good condition. Is that unusual, or am I just dumb and don't remember? Because I don't seem to recognize this style of steering wheel. Is this like a deluxe option, or is this not even original to this truck? It looks like it fits this truck pretty good, so I'm guessing it's original. But was that an option that you could get in these trucks, or did they all have that and I just never noticed? It's got a really cool radio delete in it. It's got the deluxe temperature controls. So yeah, it's got a few parts on it. What's that say? Alita Co-op, Chapman, Kansas. Huh. Here's the VIN number, if you know how to decode those. 56. Is this a 56? Is what that means right there? I think that's what that means. I don't remember. Let's pop the hood real quick and see what's under the hood. Got an old 6-cylinder in it. Not sure if it's a 235 or a 261. It's probably a 235, but you never know. Sometimes you've been changed out through the years. This is really oily on the side. I know 261s have two little bars up above the starter, and that's an easy way to tell them apart. But I really don't feel like getting my fingers all greasy trying to figure it out right now. So it's too early in the day for that. But regardless, either way, that engine will sell. Those 235s and 261s are both fairly sought after engines. So yeah, lots of good stuff on this truck. It's supposed to run and drive, but no brakes, obviously. And old trucks never have brakes. And it's just really hard to sell old farm trucks in this area. So I would never try to sell the whole thing. But it does have a really good dump bed on it. I'm not going to use the dump part of it, but you guys know I like to save my flatbeds. I use them to store stuff in and haul stuff around. It is unfortunately a wood bed. There's the seat out of it, is laying in the back of it. All the cover's gone, but all the springs and stuff are still good. And it looks like there's some ornamental bench sides. Can't quite tell what those are, but those might be something. I'll have to get those out of there. He also had a bunch of catalytic converters. He scraps a lot of cars out through the year. So about every few months or so, he brings me all the converters that he saved up. Quite a few of them here. I tried to buy his cars, but he's just so far away from me that it doesn't pay him to bring the cars to me. It's just too far for him to bring them for an extra 10, 20 bucks a ton. But he brings me all his converters, and every time he gets an old truck or an old car or something like that, he lets me know. And so I buy quite a few from him. That's enough here. I'm going to go ahead and run these converters to storage. Then I'm going to head to the yard, and I don't know what I'm going to do there. I probably won't record much. I'm probably just going to crush cars. And it's too hot to be recording. I am absolutely drenched in sweat, and it's only about 8:45 in the morning. It is a hot and humid one today, and there is no breeze at all. But he's supposed to be back this afternoon with another old truck, kind of like that one, only it's a little bit newer, I think. think it's a 58 or 9, and it's not quite as nice, but it'll make good wall art. So when that happens, I'll be back then. I'm back at the yard, and I hustled hard yesterday to keep this road cleared out and keep everything crushed that came in. And I get here now, and there's 3 cars lined up. Just junkers though. They won't take long to process and get ready for the crusher. This must have been a wheelchair van here. It's got the low floor in it. Oh, there's an aluminum wheel. Got some pennies in it, so I'll grab all those out of it. But other than that, just junk. Boy, you talk about relief. The wind started picking up, and there's a few clouds in the sky now, so every now and then the sun goes behind the clouds. So much better than it was earlier. It was miserable about an hour ago, but much better now. So I'm gonna get busy crushing cars. I will see you guys if anything interesting happens, but otherwise it'll be whenever he brings that truck in. Well, I thought I was gonna get busy and get something done today, and unfortunately this happened. Yeah, that's not good. Luckily, the tire shop that fixes my loader tires isn't busy, so they're on their way out. I have no clue what happened. I didn't have an issue yesterday, and now it's flat. So I don't know, there must be a pretty big nail in it or something like that. I haven't even had a chance to look it over yet, but hopefully we can get it fixed and get back on the, not on the road, but get back to crushing. My guy's here now to pick up all those parts in that Jeep truck. He was supposed to come this evening, but he went ahead and just took off work and made the drive over. So he's here now. We're gonna get all his stuff loaded up, and then hopefully about the time we're done with that, it'll be time to go buy that old truck that is coming into my place at the other location. So I'm here, there, and everywhere. They got my loader tire fixed. It was just a hole in it. Who knows where it came from? It's kind of a bad deal, because that means whatever caused the hole is still out there somewhere. I have no clue what caused it, but oh well, I'm gonna hop out. We're gonna get all this stuff loaded up. We got all the stuff out of this building lined up. Whole row of steering columns, the old van grill, bunch of Cadillac dash parts, the 4.3 liter 4-barrel intake, bunch of 77 El Camino SS parts. Got all that gathered up. We'll load all that in his truck in a minute, but we have a few more parts down here. There we go. We got the rest of the stuff out. Old gas nozzles, bunch of carburetors. I'm excited to have those gone because I can actually fit through my doorway now. And some more carburetors, and then a tub full of really cool old gauges and taillights, stuff like that. Those are exactly like they were when I bought them. I bought those years ago. I set them on top of that old TV in there and never touched them again until now. It's been about 8 years. He's backing in now. I'm gonna go grab that Jeep. We'll set it on his trailer, and then he bought a few more things back here. He bought a couple of those old beer kegs I have over there, and I'm not sure, that may be all he bought was the Jeep and those, but we'll look around and make sure that's all he got, get him loaded up, and he's gonna head back home out to Western Kansas. Got it all loaded up. Pretty cool truck. It's a 1979. We found the VIN number on it, looked it up. Pretty good looking truck. Awesome, that's pretty cool. They got my dumpster emptied. I called them and I said, is there any way you can get that emptied on such short notice? And they said, we'll make it work. So they got it emptied. Tomorrow I plan on throwing a bunch of stuff out of the barn out here in this. So I'm definitely glad that's ready to go. And here she is. This one isn't nearly as nice as the other one. Like I said, I'm just going to cut this one up. The other one I'll try to save, or at least the sheet metal anyway. This one here is just going to get the old choppy. It's got really good looking color on this front nose, multicolored. It's got the kind of seafoam green here, and it's got the teal, and then a little bit of brown primer mixed in with the chrome and the white grill. Just a really good looking nose right there. I'm sure that'll sell pretty good. Now that I see it in person, I think it'll bring more than I thought it would. And it's got some good Viking emblems on the side of it. I think this is a 58. The cab's got really good color. I can cut it up if I need to. Like I said, it's pretty rusty. It's rotted out under there pretty bad. And then up above the windshield has some rust in it. Although now that I see it in person, it's looking like the floors are pretty solid. The door pockets are solid. The steps are solid. So I don't know. Somebody may buy this cab. I have a title to this one actually, so somebody may go for this cab. I don't know. We'll give it a shot. I won't just cut it up without trying to sell it first. But it's got lots of good dash parts in it. It's got a good steering wheel. It's got the instrument cluster. It's got the factory radio in it. That's pretty cool. It's got the deluxe temperature controls. And check out this keyring on here. Look at that. Original Chevy dealership keyring. Pop it out of there so I can see it better. The other side, I forget what it says. Oh, Ulrich Chevrolet, Phillipsburg, Kansas. Phone number L13-4924. Huh, that's pretty neat. It's got a V8 under the hood. The hood's all wired shut, so I can't really get it open. It's really dark, you can't see in there, but I'm sure it's an old 283. Don't know anything about this engine. I'll have to see if it turns later. Yeah, this side of the cab ain't too bad. Got a little bit of rust up there in the door, but not much. Cab corner's not that bad, so I don't know. Because it has a title, I think somebody may go for this cab. Well, like I said, we'll give it a shot. I got one more truck out back that Skylar dumped off the other day, so we'll go check it out here in a minute. And then I'm probably going to call it quits because it's about 1,000,000 degrees out here, and I'll head home and I'll come back in the morning. Here's the other trucks I got. Nothing special, just an old International grain truck. And yes, I'm driving in the truck, that way I can get in the shade. I don't feel like walking out in the sun anymore. Yeah, just an old grain truck. It's got a few parts on it, and then this truck here as well. 1-ton square body Chevy. It's got a good running 6-cylinder in it. It's the only reason it didn't go straight to the shredder. It may wind up back in the shredder eventually, but it does have a good running 292. It's got a good grill in it. I don't know. I thought about trying to make a wall hanger out of a couple of these square bodies. I don't know. They're starting to get somewhat collectible. I don't feel like they've reached the point to where they're worth saving all of them, but if they look like they have a good wall hanger nose, kind of like that one there, I figured I'll go ahead and save them. My buddy Skylar brought me both of those. Unloaded them the other day when I wasn't here. That grain truck has a steel floor in it. I'm thinking about making a dump bed trailer out of that bed because that's a longer bed. A lot of times, a lot of the beds I get are only 12 or 14 feet long, and it's just not really long enough for me to haul anything. But I've been wanting to make a gooseneck dump bed out of one of these old grain trucks, and I feel like that one there would be a good one to do it with. And with that, I'll let y'all go. I will see you guys in the morning, and we'll start working in that barn. It's supposed to be about 30 degrees cooler tomorrow, so I am really looking forward to that. And we are back again. It is not Saturday. It is, in fact, Monday. Saturday, I went out to my place, and my buddy Sean came out. We were looking at a bunch of old trucks and old cars. He has a whole list of stuff that people are wanting. So we were going around taking pictures, looking at different things, and talking about different things. And I believe I sold the 56 cab, or I know I sold the 56 cab and the square body with the welding bed on it, the 1-ton. Both of those are sold. And then maybe the cab off of the 58. And the nose is sold off the 58 now, so I sold quite a bit of stuff. And there was something else that sold while we were out there that day. But anyway, I didn't have time to record anything. I started working in the barn a little bit, got a little bit done, then somebody else came out. And so we were looking at some other stuff. And so all I did was talk to people. And then finally I get in the barn, think I'm going to work on it, and my Simply Safe alarm goes off at home. And my front door was open. So I had to take off and run home. And the police were there surrounding my house. And I get there, and evidently just the front door wasn't quite latched all the way, and there was not a microburst, but a pretty strong storm system had kind of just blown through, and it was really, really windy, so that wind got to circulating and pushed the door open, set off the alarm, set off the motion alarms inside the house. But better safe than sorry. But at that point in time, I'm already home, and it's middle of the afternoon, so I said, you know what, I'm not going to bother going back out there. So I did not record anything Saturday. But I'm here this morning at the yard. I've got a whole mess of cars to get rid of. They're in my way. I've got a truck going to be here in a little bit, so I've got to wrap a load. So I've got a bunch to do, but I'll show you a few of the cars that came in over the weekend. Main thing I need to do is I need to get this moved and that truck moved. This here's an old manure spreader covered in poison ivy. I don't know how he got it out of there. Where this was sitting, it was solid poison ivy. You couldn't even see the tongue of it. The poison ivy went all the way out. It's just junk. I'm just going to crush it, but I got to pull that tractor weight out. I can't crush that, so I'll pull that out, throw it in the dumpster, and then go ahead and crush the rest of this. Got this old 86 Camaro here, rust-free car, but it's all taken apart, missing a ton of parts. T-top car, not really worth anything. I've got a ton of those T-tops, so I'm going to go ahead and crush it. And then out here, we've got a whole line of cars that start here and go all the way down the road. These two trucks here are just junk. The van's just junk. I mean, they're all just junk, but I believe these here are pretty well ready to crush. So I'll get them out of the way so I can get the truck in here. That's the #1 priority. Then I'll worry about the rest of them later. So I'm going to hop in the loader now, start moving stuff around. I don't know when the truck's coming. They don't really usually give you much warning. They kind of just show up. They say, we'll be there that day, and you've got about a 75% chance that they will show up at some point during that day. About a 25% chance that they'll just never show up and you'll never hear from them again. So we'll see what happens. I have got a mega load of work to get done this week. I don't even know how I'm going to get it done. I'm just completely overloaded and overwhelmed with it. But I'm probably not going to record anything else the rest of the week, so I'll go ahead and record loading the truck whenever he gets here and that sort of stuff. But beyond that, probably won't record much more. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm running on about 3 hours of sleep. I am dog tired. I was up all night working on some other stuff that I had to get up super early and package stuff for eBay, and so I'm feeling it. I could go for a nap right about now. And with that, I am done for the day. I am worn out. It's been a long day. I went out to my place during the lunch hour, and I went back and I parked back in the trees in the shade, and the birds were chirping. I had my windows down. I leaned my seat back, and I crashed for about 30 minutes. I was out cold. Then I woke up and had to come back out here, load that truck, crush some more bundles. I've got the impound yard bringing me, I think, 13 cars first thing in the morning, so I had to clean the road out. All the cars were in the road. I didn't have time to process them, so I just crammed them all wherever I could fit them. You know, I have 9 videos, counting this one, recorded now that I have not posted as of the time that I'm recording this. So I think I'm going to take a break from recording for a while. Probably won't record anything probably the rest of the week, maybe not even next week. It may be a long time before I start recording again. Unless, of course, something really interesting happens, and then I'll bust the camera out and I'll record that. But otherwise, probably going to take a little bit of a break. I'm still going to keep posting, so you guys won't actually notice a difference. I'm going to post 2 or 3 videos a week of what I already have recorded, but this will give me a chance to get caught up with what I already have done, get things posted, that sort of stuff. Anyway, with that, I'm going to head out, so I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. And as always, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. And remember to get out there and find an adventure. We'll see you next time.